Let me tell you a story about a woman named Sylvia. Sylvia was the kind of woman people admired from a distance. She had everything: a successful business, a stunning apartment in the city, and the confidence that came with being a powerful CEO. But while Sylvia's professional life was thriving, her personal life was, well, almost non existent. Relationships were complicated, and for Sylvia, time was money. However, faith has a funny way of bringing two very different worlds together. Enter David, a fresh-faced young man in his late 20s who had just started working as Sylvia's assistant. He was smart, hardworking, and respectful, but nothing about him stood out to Sylvia at first. To her, David was just another employee. Over the next few months, Sylvia noticed something different about David. Unlike her other assistants, he was always two steps ahead. He knew how she liked her coffee, prepped her meetings perfectly, and never complained about the late hours or demanding workload. One day, after a particular stressful board meeting, David surprised her with something small but thoughtful: a box of her favorite chocolate. It wasn't expensive, but it was personal. Sylvia was taken aback. In her fast-paced world of deals and numbers, no one had ever paid attention to the little things. As they spent more time together, Sylvia found herself enjoying his company. They started having casual conversation during coffee breaks, talking about everything from work to their favorite books. It was in those moments that Sylvia realized something unexpected. She was developing feelings for David. One Friday evening, after a long day, Sylvia invited David to have a drink with her at a nearby bar. It was innocent enough, just two colleagues winding down after a hectic week. But something changed that night. They talked and laughed more than they ever had before. Sylvia began to see David in a new light, not as just her assistant, but as a man. His kindness, his ambition, and his respect for her made him stand out in a way no one else had. As the night drew on, they walked back to her office to grab her things. There, in the soft glow of the office light, the atmosphere shifted. A long, quiet pause fell between them, and for the first time, Sylvia realized that the chemistry between them was undeniable. But Sylvia knew better. She was his boss, and this was a line she couldn't afford to cross. The days that followed were difficult for Sylvia. She couldn't stop thinking about David, but at the same time, she knew the risk. Office romances were messy, and the last thing she needed was for her professional reputation to be tarnished by rumors of favoritism. But the more she tried to avoid her feelings, the more they grew. Every time David smiled at her or made her laugh, it became harder to ignore the connection between them. Even David seemed to sense the tension, though he never said a word about it. One evening, after working late, Sylvia sat alone in her office, staring at her computer screen but thinking about David. She wondered if he felt the same way about her, or if this was all in her head. But in business, Sylvia had always trusted her instinct, and right now they were telling her that this was more than just a passing crush. It happened on a Tuesday afternoon. They were both in the office, working on a big presentation for a client. The pressure was high, and Sylvia had been stressed all day. David, seeing her frustration, came over to her desk to check on her. "Is everything okay?" he asked, his voice soft but filled with genuine concern. For some reason, in that moment, Sylvia couldn't hold back anymore. She looked up at him, and before she knew what she was doing, she leaned in and kissed him. It was brief but electric. For a moment, the world seemed to stop. David pulled back, surprised but not upset. "Sylvia," he began, but before he could finish, she stood up, embarrassed and apologetic. "I'm sorry, David. I don't know what I was thinking," she muttered, grabbing her things and leaving the office in a hurry. The next day was awkward, to say the least. Sylvia avoided David, feeling ashamed of her actions. She had crossed a professional line, and now she wasn't sure how to fix things. David, however, wasn't angry. He respected Sylvia so much to let one moment ruin their working relationship. He approached her calmly and asked if they could talk. "Sylvia, I know things got complicated yesterday, but I want you to know that I am here for the job. I respect you as my boss, and whatever happened, we can move past it," he said, his tone reassuring. Sylvia was relieved by his maturity, but deep down, she knew that moving past it wouldn't be so easy. The feelings were still there, stronger than ever. Weeks went by, and though they managed to maintain a professional relationship, the tension between them never fully disappeared. One evening, after another late night at the office, David finally broke the silence. "Sylvia, I can't pretend anymore," he said, standing in the doorway of her office. "I know you are my boss, but I need to be honest. I have feelings for you. I have tried to ignore them, but I can't." Sylvia's heart raced. She had been waiting for this moment, but now that it was happening, she didn't know what to say. "David, I feel the same way," she admitted softly. "But this is complicated. You are my assistant. If people found out, it could ruin everything for both of us." David took a step closer to her. "I know it's risky, Sylvia, but I'm willing to take that risk if you are. I have never met anyone like you. You are strong, smart, and I respect you more than you know. But I also can't deny how I feel." Sylvia was torn. She had built her business from the ground up, and the thought of risking her reputation for a relationship was terrifying. But at the same time, she couldn't deny the way David made her feel. It wasn't just attraction, there was something deeper, something real. After a long pause, Sylvia made her decision. "If we are going to do this, we need to be careful," she said. "No one at the office can know. We will keep it professional during work hours, and we will take things slow." David nodded in agreement. "I'm okay with that." Over the next few months, Sylvia and David quietly navigated their relationship. They spent time together outside of work, going on dinner dates, weekend getaways, and sharing moments that had nothing to do with the office. At work, they maintained their professionalism, and no one suspected a thing. But as their relationship grew, Sylvia started to feel the weight of the secrecy. She loved David, but hiding their relationship was becoming harder. One day, during a private lunch, Sylvia confessed her worries to David. "I hate hiding this," she said. "I want to be with you openly, but I don't know if the business can handle the fallout." David took her hand and smiled. "Sylvia, I understand, but you don't have to choose between love and business. We have made it work so far, and if we are careful, we can continue to do so. But if it ever becomes too much for you, we will deal with it together. I am not going anywhere." Sylvia smiled, feeling a sense of relief. She had always been in control of her life, but with David, she realized that sometimes love was worth taking risks for. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more stories like this. Enjoy your day.